Alright, what's going on, traders? Welcome back to another video. Today we'll be going over my live trades of January 22nd, 2026. I'll be going over some pre-market analysis, and then I'll be going over some live trading, a little bit of my mentality getting into this trade, reasons on why, um, with entry and exits, and being transparent as much as I can be. So without further ado, let's get into the pre-market analysis. Okay, so what you guys can see on your screen is we have the SPY chart open. I got the 1 hour up here, the 5 minute down here, but I have noted series of higher lows and higher highs. Yesterday's evening resistance is acting as today's support. So this was the yesterday's evening resistance, right? And acting as today's support right here in this area. No, the stock has made a huge move up since yesterday, almost filling its gap. So I'm looking to be patient and wait for confirmation. So this is yesterday, right? Boom, freaking all the way almost up here, almost filling its gap, right? So this is a pretty overextended stock at the moment. What I was looking at. Either we meet support, create pressure to the downside, or what we would see is a push to the upside and possible failure. But I wouldn't feel comfortable holding anything for a while, at least to the upside. So what I would want to see is, what I would want to see is a possible retrace, pressure, breakdown, or a possible move up and move to the downside, because this thing's gonna need a breather room. I mean, this is gonna need a breather. It's moved tremendously up, and it's gonna need a point where you know buyers aren't willing to pay these higher prices, and it's gonna have to retrace at some point, right? So this was my pre-market analysis. As you can see, this is just the higher time frame, making a huge move up. It's had some previous support areas right here. Previous support, previous support, previous support. Which was once acting as a resistance, but now today it gapped up and creating a higher support above. So I was looking to see if this could, if it could curl up cool, if it could come hit the gap to fill and then retrace, as you guys can see with this red line that I had noted. And yeah, just being patient to see what happens. So as you guys can see right here, we have market open. At market open, we had a huge flush. We then had a push to the upside, and then a retracement into the support level. It's pre-market support level, and then it's pushing to the upside. So um, once again, this is a stock that I think had already made a huge move up, and it's at a point of exertion. I think it's gonna need to pull back at some point, and I'd be looking to take longs, after that point, or trying to shorten the area of resistance. But I it ended up pushing up. It had a huge retracement, broke its little support area that it was having. And so it was like trapping liquidity. It was like these buyers, that were getting into like these periods, they pretty much got all stopped out, providing liquidity to the downside. So I'm just looking to see what happens here. Um, okay, so selling pressure continues, and now this stock is being bearish. It pushes into my area of supply. As you guys can see, this green is an area of supply. I think I was looking to take a trade at the moment. Um, I think the area was good. I think the area was good. You see a previous area of support pre-market. The area was good. I just don't think I had that confirmation of seeing enough buying pressure to the upside. But Oh, it ended up flushing down. So I probably just didn't see that. Yeah, the buyers. It was a good zone, but the buyers never stepped in, never had that confirmation. So we didn't take that trade. We do take this trade towards the downside once I see buyers step in. So I'm being patient, as you guys can see, some more selling volume. We're having huge orders on the selling side, and 1,000 order. We have 784. We got 180, 86, 860, but not as much buying pressure as there is selling pressure. So I'm looking to be patient, looking to be patient, waiting to see buyers step in. Okay, now what we could see here is that flip. From here, buyers, there's not as much buying pressure. We got a 900, 900, 200, 500. We got an 800, 800. Um, and so what we end up seeing here on the tape, let's see if I can catch it. We get 1,000, and then look, 600, 600, 121, 120. So what happens here is there's more buying sides than selling sides. So they're buying up all these shares, which is going to cause a move up. I get into the stock. I'm looking to immediately put my stop loss and take profit. Okay, so I bought my first share. So what I did in this instance, since it was like a huge pressure to the downside, I was looking to be patient. So I bought one contract and then ended up adding another contract. So I didn't just buy my two contracts at the same time. I put my stop loss and my take profit. I was risking 10 cents to make 20 cents, so a 2 to 1. This was a this was a good trade. Um, the area, look, so with this trade, what we had was we had a zone. Okay, so it's trading below supply. We know that it's had a huge move to the downside with no real pullbacks, right? It's trading below zone, so this is what we can call it's below fair value. It's like at a point where it's cheap, right? It's at a cheap price. And then not only do we have, you know, that we had the area and where we bought it at versus like saying what I'm trying to emphasize is like this area would be above resistance. This area, this is where I bought it. So we had the confirmation on the area was good and met my requirement. The stop loss met my requirement, and then it also had that confirmation where we saw buyers step in, right? So this had met my criteria to to be something worth trading. So as you guys can see, um, I set up my stop loss 9 cents down just to be safe on slippage. Make sure I get filled. Make sure I do get filled. And this stop loss is right. It would be right under this candle, right under these two wicks on this left side. This would be right under that. And then I ended up moving it to the bottom of the wicks. Okay. So as you guys can see, it starts going up, I start, now I'm up 1 to 1. So I'm up 1 to 1. I go stop break even. Because I don't want to start losing money at this point. It's already met half of my target. I want to make sure I lock in profits. So everything's going good. Everything's going good. I'm managing my risk, going to break even and letting this thing ride. Then I'm like, dude, this stock has gone up so much. I mean, this stock has gone down so much. Let me move my target. So I'm up 1.5 to 1 at this point, right? and it's about to hit my target. So let's watch what happens. So it's going up. Boom. It's about to hit my 2 to 1, right? It's about to hit my 2 to 1. So I'm like, dude, I'm like this. I'm like, let me move my stop up to secure profits. Like, let me trail my stop up. And let's go for a higher target. This thing is moving really fast. But that was kind of my mistake. That was my mistake. Like, I shouldn't have moved it that quick. Either letting it reach my target, because look, if I had left it there, it would have filled. So I'm up like, oh yes, you see, I try to get it. I try to get it filled, but then it said should be higher than 134. So at this point, I'm up 2.5 to 1. 2.5 to 1. Right. 2 to 1. Then I just start getting fucked. And then I just start getting desperate. I'm like, bro, I just gotta fill this shit, get out. But that was really dumb of me. I'm like, okay. But what I should have done at this point, I should have just gave him more leg room, in complete honesty. It's just the way I managed this trade. I set up my stop loss and my take profit. I should have, kept my stop to break even. And and, and I don't even think it was that, cause moving my stop to break even, I think that would have stopped me out too. Yeah, I would have got out with a losing trade. But the thing is, like, not moving my take profit, because I think the day before this, I had moved my target. I had moved my target, and it had I forgot exactly what had happened, but I moved my target and I didn't get. Oh, I took like less profits pretty much. I had took less profit than what I was supposed to, or something like this. But like this, I left my stop. I should have just moved to break even and not touch my target. I have my target up for a reason. I should just leave it there. Let it do its thing, because it went up 2 to 1, almost went up to 3 to 1, and as you guys can see on the chart, it had came to a point where it was its pre-market supply zone was acting as a demand zone. Rejected it. I still got out with profits. Like, I hadn't made money on the day, but there was no longer that, like, me moving my stop was is what was detrimental to my trading uh that day. Cause at least if I would have got it should have been either a break even trade or that 2 to 1. But when I set up a target, um, I should just leave it there. I should just leave it there, and you know, um, but yeah, I think what I learned from this trade was that, me trying to trail my stop up, didn't give me that not even that, but it was me moving around my target was um what ended up not getting me filled. And then I tried to get filled, but then it had to be above the price. Yeah. But it was a it was a good trade. It was a good trade. It was good to sell into this area because um it was an area of support, not acting as an area of resistance, which was a bearish signal. It was a good time to get out that trade and just go for something. Um, and not hold on too long and just take my profits. So yeah, that was the recap of this trade. I hope you guys found it useful in any way, and learn from my mistakes. And if you did, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.